The judge in the Alec Murdaugh trial is set to make a crucial decision. He'll be ruling on whether to allow evidence about Murdaugh's finances into the double murder trial, a key component of the prosecution's theory. ABC News contributor and New York City homicide public defender Brian Buckmeyer joins me live now for more on this. Brian, what does the judge have to consider in making this decision?
So, Diane, the judge has to consider both the evidence that the prosecution has put on in these quote-unquote in-camera review hearings, as well as whether or not this connects to a motive and the balancing as to whether or not this is more probative than prejudicial. It's a way of trying to bring in an uncharged bad act or unconvicted bad act and bring it into another case to try to prove a motive. It's a big balancing act. If the judge gets it wrong, this could come back on appeal if Murdaugh is ultimately convicted.
Now, one of the first things Alec Murdaugh told police the night his wife and son were killed was that he thought it was related to a boat crash his son was involved in that killed Mallory Beach. Today, a lawyer for Beach's family is testifying, but without the jury present. Why? What's the strategy here?
Yeah, so that testimony initially, that Alec Murdaugh kind of just blurted this out to authorities. The prosecution is bringing that in to say this is the connective tissue. This is proving why it's a motive. That Alec Murdaugh, in his infinite wisdom as this great trial attorney, is throwing off the investigation by kind of saying, hey, it's something else. Well, the reason why this is happening outside the presence of the jury is because the judge hasn't decided as yet as to whether or not this is relevant or non-prejudicial evidence that the jury can hear. So what that means is if he does rule in favor of the prosecution, we're likely to hear all of this evidence, if not more, all over again when in front of the jury so they can decide based on this motive and the opportunity of Alec Murdaugh killing his family.
Now, Brian, a ballistics expert also testified on Friday that old shell casings on the family's property matched ones found near Maggie Murdaugh's body. That sounds like it's suggesting one of the missing murder weapons has been fired there before. What do you make of that?
I think it's actually confusing. And whenever there is confusion, it helps the defense. And the reason why I say it's confusion is because there is no gun here, that they don't have the actual murder weapon. So it's very difficult to be able to compare and contrast shell casings to make sure for sure that this is the gun that did the killing. This could be another similar type of gun that had done this shooting. This is a hunting lodge. It's not unremarkable that there be shell casings of a similar caliber laying around when the murder weapon is known to be a weapon that was in the possession of the defense. But more confusion helps the defense. If the prosecution can narrow it down and clear this up, it may help their case more at closing arguments.
It's also believed that more than one weapon was involved here. Neither of these murder weapons have been found. How much does that help the defense?
That helps the defense because they're creating this theory that there could be multiple shooters and alternative shooters. They've already come up and said, well, the investigation was somewhat sloppy. There were footprints and tire tracks that the investigators didn't really categorize properly. That, like you said, two different weapons, but also in that shotgun that killed Paul, Alec's younger son, they used two different types of ammunition. The more confusion, the more you can point to someone else, it helps the defense. Again, the prosecution's got to clear that up if they want to erase any reasonable doubt.
All right, Brian Buckmeyer, we appreciate the analysis as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.